What is going on, people? It is Uncle Nick, and I'm back again this week. So I wanted to bring something to the table this week that I've gone over previously. By gone over, I mean mentioned. So I've always mentioned how important being explosive is, especially for guys around my size, 5'9", 5'10", in the 200-pound range. We need to be fast. It's gotta happen. So there are three main things that I wanted to go over, and they're my top three based off of things like easiest to do, low cost, most effective. Just, you can do them anywhere. So, and what all you really need to be doing to be explosive is hard inputs of power, fast changing direction, and 0 to 100 as fast as possible. So I'm gonna give you guys my top three on this video. I will make a longer video going over all the big things that I do, that I cycle through to be explosive, a lot of the movements, because there's a lot of stuff I do. You can incorporate explosiveness into just about anything. I'm gonna give you the abbreviated list of the top three, and I'm gonna explain why those are my top three as we go through them. I'm gonna start with number 3. All right, so number 3 is a burpee broad jump and or box jump. If you don't have a box or tire like you see in the background, you can do a burpee broad jump, which is basically burpee and then going and jumping as far as you can. And you really don't need anything for it. And then the box jump, that gives you the vertical burpee, go down to a burpee, do a box jump, like I'm gonna show you here. That's all there is to it. All right, guys, so number 2 is the sled drag. And this is my number 2 because it requires a little more equipment than a burpee broad jump, but it's still a very minimalist, explosive exercise when it comes to overall training. And you don't actually even need a sled. You can go to your local hardware store or whatever you have, Lowe's, Home Depot, and get some rope and go find an old tire somewhere. You put that behind you, and that friction of the tire dragging the ground between you sprinting, it'll catch up fast, and it works every single time. Now, not only do you have to sprint forward with this, but you can sprint backward with a back pedal and really hammer those quads. Notice how I'm not doing this. I'm not rowing. I'm backpedaling. I'm using my legs. Hard inputs the power. Exploding. Boom. It's really simple, really effective, and it will pump up your legs very fast. It is not... I've come to find that the simplest of these exercises when it comes to training overall, that they're usually the most effective because they're straightforward. There's no really right or wrong way for the movement. You just go. And that's the case with why these are the top 3, because you don't really have to think about it. You just go and do it. And you just move as fast as you can, as hard as you can, for as long as you can. If there are any gearheads in my audience here, then you guys will understand when I say it's like first and second gear in a car or a truck. That's where you make all the torque. That's what that is. It's being hard and explosive, firing off the line. Doesn't have a high top speed, but it'll get them 0 to 30 miles an hour like that. Don't worry about overall speed. Worry about hard inputs to power. You're gonna notice a trend here, how I repeat some of the things I say. That's because they all transfer to each movement. So without further ado, we are going to move on to number 1 on my list. And all you're gonna need is a hill. Had to come back inside to finish talking to you guys about the hill sprints because it started getting windy. And those flies that you guys saw in my last video with me and Brian, they're back. So I didn't feel like, yeah, you get it. Why hill sprints? Because you don't need anything but a hill. If you don't have a hill, go out and do suicides. And what suicides are just sprints where you're changing direction really fast and really hard. Doesn't matter what direction you go in, you're just moving. The main reason why hill is number 1 is that you never really get out of that explosive state. You don't get onto that top end. You stay in that bottom end where you're still chopping and trying to generate power versus trying to generate speed. It just makes running harder. And the harder you make something, when you go to do something normally, the better you're gonna be at it. Walk around with a 50-pound vest on for a few weeks and then take it off, you're probably gonna be a little bit faster in a lot of areas. Also, last but not least, I do wanna give out a quick thank you to the crew over at Mark Bell, Slingshot, and Super Training Gym for sending me and Brian out a nice little care package. Sent me out some new gangster wraps, some new strong sleeves, knee and elbow sleeves. They fit great, guys, I love them. You see some of the top athletes wearing knees and elbow sleeves, and it's not to look good, it's because they actually have a function. It actually helps. If it didn't help, why would they wear them? Besides, they're probably getting paid a lot of money. I used the hell out of these gangster wraps. Yeah, these are mine. These are my new ones. Getting the strong sleeves and the Mark Bell gear, you couldn't be supporting better people. It's good people bringing you guys a great product. And I'm not selling anything. I just love their stuff. I beat the living hell out of the ones I got on now. And they still do their job. So if you guys are looking for some company to support, it's definitely Super Training. Good people, and they make awesome shit. Bottom line. That is really about it, guys. The top 3 were Burpee broad jumps and or box jumps at number 3. Number 2 was the sled drags or sprints, whether you're backpedaling, dragging, or sprinting forward with the sled trailing behind you. And number 1 was the hill sprint. And my criteria for these, like I said before, were simplest and most effective. Best bang for buck when it came to getting the most done with the least amount available. And that's why hill sprints is number 1, because you can go out and find an incline and run it as fast as you can, and there will be benefits from that. I promise. When the weather's permitting, I spend a lot of time on that hill. I spend a lot of time outside doing sprints because they make you better. They make you faster. Till next time, guys, you know what the deal is. Get out there, get after it, and embrace the suck.